And God denyo. Oh, what that dang. Yes. This is the voice of the patriot. And here we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, we would only do that on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. Remember, here we don't compromise the truth. That is why we are called the headquarters of the truth. My name, Blakk Rasta. Now, speaking truth to power, straight up, man. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and I read: I was misunderstood and punished. Adwoa Safo speaks on MPP primary loss. And I read: now, the former member of parliament for Dome Kwabenya, Sarah Adwoa Safo, has accused certain politicians within the party of orchestrating her defeat during the party's primaries. That's what I think. The party misunderstood me and decided to punish me, and that cost me my primary, she said on Tuesday, that's yesterday, February 18, 2025. Now, according to her, her defeat was orchestrated by party officials who believed she had not treated them well, despite her efforts to demonstrate remorse for any past mistakes. Now, speaking in an interview on Asempa FM on March 18, 2025, she added, that is why I stated earlier that we have fewer female lawmakers in parliament, suggesting that her treatment might be part of a larger trend affecting women in politics. Adwoa Safo also Adwoa Safo was defeated in the new Patriotic Party's parliamentary primary held on Saturday, January 27, 2024. She lost to the CEO of the Free Zone Authority, Mike Okwe Jr., who polled over 1,194 votes, while Adwoa Safo polled 328 votes. My brother, my sister, it is so nauseating, so terribly bad when people refuse to accept the truth. Adwoa Safo is one such ostrich. Ostriches are known to run away from common sense, and they indulge in frivolities and building castles in the air. My brother, my sister, can you imagine that Adwoa Safo is still talking? Adwoa Safo became the most arrogant politician in Ghana in the days of Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, running this country into the ditches. Adwoa Safo, my brother, my sister, left the shores of this country with or without permission from the president, went all the way to America, and within 2 weeks of staying in America, her accent changed. She started to speak like an American. She made it clear, against all her vows that she took in broad daylight right here in this country, that her family was more important to her than the country Ghana. Adwoa Safo refused to return to the country despite the numerous clarion calls that reached her wherever she was in America, basking in the glory of the American taxpayer. My brother, my sister, they were only able to bring Adwoa Safo into the country when it was time to vote for the so-called e-levy, after which they celebrated it with an e-levy cake. My brother, my sister, nor certainly they celebrated the laws they brought into this country, pushing the taxpayer into the doldrums of poverty, saddling the taxpayer with so much debt, with kenke parties. We remember all that. Adwoa Safo was flown into the country on a chartered flight, as we were told. She flew in a chartered flight from her base in the United States of America, her new comfort zone, safe haven, only to vote for the e-levy. Even with that, the gymnastics continued. The drama kid made sure that the drama was all over the place. We were told that the chief of staff, Madame Frema, went with a convoy to be able to lure Adwoa Safo, or better still, plead with her to come to the Parliament House to vote for the demonic e-levy. A convoy, my brother, my sister, led the way, and even with that, Adwoa Safo made sure that she took all the time so disrespectfully to her party, to herself, and to the whole of the country. That is, if that e-levy thing was even important to the nation. My brother, my sister, she ran away from her own constituency. She didn't care what happened to her constituency. She didn't explain anything to her constituency. Such an arrogant woman. Today she has the guts to speak after the president sacked her for disgracing the president and the party. Today, listen to the rot that she is spitting out. Her defeat was orchestrated by her own party because they misunderstood her. In the same vein, she mentioned that, she tried to be remorseful. Now, if you haven't committed any mistake, if you haven't made any mistake, why the remorse? Remorse only comes hand in hand with a certain misdeed. If there is no misdeed, there cannot be remorse. So you see, these people are not smart. And when I say it, some people take offense. These are the brains we keep voting into our politics to run our nation. Such mediocre minds. And I hear she's a lawyer. You ran away on an AWOL. Deserted your own ministry of women and gender and children and social welfare, whatever they call that ministry. She left. And when we asked her for accountability, she told us her family was more important to her than the country. My brother, my sister, at the end of the day, the people of Dome Kwabenya decided that they didn't want you anymore, that you were so arrogant, and for that matter, they were not ready to deal with your ilk. And therefore, they pushed you out. Today, she has an alibi. I tried to be remorseful, but my party people orchestrated my defeat. The one who helped you win in the last elections, Kennedy Agyapong, himself washed his hands off you, despite the fact that you share a child together. You are his baby mother. Such an arrogant woman. A lot of Ghanaian politicians, the moment they get a certain elevation, they become teen gods. They are not ready, my brother, my sister, to give respect to those who lay down flat for them to step on their backs to whatever height they have reached. It is so sad. My brother, my sister, if Adwoa Safo would listen to me, and I know the arrogant person that she is, she would not. Please sit your backside in some little corner. go for rebaptismal, because you are bathed in arrogance, you are bathed in pride, and you are bathed in things we cannot repeat on radio. Your actions are so nauseating. I leave it here. Now the next thing I want to look at is quite interesting, and I need you to come along. It's very interesting. My brother, my sister, I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, and I read, social media users mock Mohammed's Blue Water Guards initiative to fight Galamsey. And I read, Ghanaians on social media platform X, formerly called Twitter, have poured scorn on the John Mahama-led government's flagship Blue Water Initiative aimed at fighting Galamsey and restoring polluted water sources. As part of the initiative, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boa, on March 17, 2025, announced the commencement of a 4-week training program for the first batch of the 480 Blue Water Guards, who will provide 24-hour monitoring and protection of the nation's water bodies. Now, the minister emphasized that the Blue Water Guards will serve as vigilant stewards, safeguarding water resources from the devastating effects of illegal mining. He also revealed plans to train and deploy 2,000 guards nationwide in the coming months. The call for urgent action has never been more pressing. People often do not want us to say it, but this is a crisis of our lifetime. My brother, my sister, I leave it here. Watch this. Now, when you read this story further, it says that social media in Ghana is so doubtful of the fact that these Blue Water Guards will be able to do the work. A lot of them are saying, even the army was sent there, they ended up taking bribe. Police was sent there, they took bribe. And the impunity continued to rage on. Can you fault social media? But can I just go beyond social media? My brother, nothing would happen in this country without patriotism. I don't know how many times I need to say this. Mr. President, you can fly all the way to the heavens, take a journey through hell, and return to the heavens and shake hands with God and be flown on the wings of Angel Gabriel. You will never be able to make it without patriotism. And I'm glad that Mr. President knows this. My brother, if the police people and the soldier men who were sent onto the Galamsey fields to fight Galamsey were patriotic, there was no way they could have taken bribe. Why are we not patriotic? It's simple. Because it's not in our DNA. The white man came and colonized us, destroyed every iota of patriotism in us as part of colonialism. When the white man came to colonize us and to even enslave us long before colonialism, what he did was to disunite us and make sure that our beliefs meant nothing to us, and that included patriotism. My brother, my sister, today the white man is thriving in patriotism whilst we are being dissipated and thrown away, broken into pieces like the potter's pots, because we lack patriotism. Nothing would happen in the nation without patriotism. People are stealing from the country because they lack it. Politicians have no respect for the nation. They only owe allegiance to their political parties. They will not employ you no matter how brainy you are. Once you don't have a party card, forget it. because they lack patriotism. My brother, you can train 1 trillion blue guards, red guards, green guards. Hey, any color that you want, including colorless guards. Nothing would happen if patriotism is not on the forefront. May I repeat this? My brother, our nation needs patriotism. In the days of Kwame Nkrumah, he initiated the Young Patriots. What was their code of ethics? Simple. Love for nation and love for the people. My brother, my sister, they recited this almost every morning to themselves. Love for nation. If you love your nation, you won't steal from it. If you love your nation, you will not even do Galamsey, let alone get somebody to fight your Galamsey. Presidents are stealing all over Africa because patriotism has been thrown and dashed to the curb. We all have become hobos. We all have become non-patriots because of our self-aggrandizement. We all have become non-patriots because of our selfish nuances. In the days when on TV we heard the patriotism songs, when we heard all the beautiful songs, in the days when we had the national anthem and we comatosed, in the days when it was all about Ghana. There's a story about this white guy who went into a Ghanaian hotel, and when he used the toilet, he decided to use a newspaper on his backside. And the photo of the president at the time, Kwame Nkrumah, went directly into his asshole. And he painted the face of the president with his excreta and left it there, maybe without even knowing. When the cleaner went in there and saw this dastardly act, immediately he reported it. His superiors in no time got in contact with the authorities. Summarily, this white guy was deported for showing so much disrespect to the president and the whole nation. Today, statues of Nana Akufo-Addo are being broken all over the place, and people are jumping and jubilating because he's a non-patriot. Bawumia is a non-patriot. They care more about their political parties than they care about Ghana. Mr. President, in conclusion, with all love and respect, please, do not let us joke with patriotism. Patriotism must be taught in our schools, on our radio and our TV. This should be the key thing to talk about. Patriotism, we need it. Once we learn how to deal with our nation, we have no problem. Let us love our nation. After all, there's an account saying that nobody points his left hand at his own house. We might not be the best now, but we have the potential of growing our nation to become what we want to see. We can't achieve that if we don't have patriotism. But in conclusion, I would like to say thank you, Mr. President, for showing signs of fighting Galamsey. And to the Blue Guards, it is your opportunity to leave a good name for yourselves. Don't take bribes. Love your country. And to Adwoa, he's a good brethren of mine. I know him personally. I can reach out to him anytime. No matter how busy he is, he will respond. Mr. Adwoa, let patriotism be the bedrock. You stayed in America for a long time, and you know the importance of patriotism. Please grow the so-called Blue Guards on the bedrock of patriotism, or else I'm afraid we are building castles in the air. Now the final story I want to look at is a very sensitive one. But I will still look at it. I'm reading from Ghana where it says Kennedy Agyapong acted maliciously and recklessly in his attacks on me. Anas fires after U.S. court ruling. And I read, investigative journalist Anas Anas has stated that the former member of parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Agyapong, acted maliciously and recklessly in his attacks on him. This was after an Essex County jury awarded the investigative journalist Anas Anas 18 million American dollars in a defamation suit against Kennedy Agyapong. Responding to the ruling in a statement on March 18, investigative journalist Anas Anas spoke. He spoke. And what did he say? Anas described his victory as a resounding affirmation that falsehood and character assassination have no place in society. I stand before you today with a profound sense of vindication and determination. Yesterday in the Essex County Superior Court in New Jersey, an 8-member jury delivered a unanimous verdict finding Kennedy Agyapong, a former member of the Ghanaian parliament, liable for defamation and awarding damages of 18 million US dollars. These damages arise from statements made following the airing of the BBC documentary on corruption, Betraying the Game, on October 28, 2028. I leave it here. I am happy. Whether we like it or not, justice is so expensive in our country, Ghana. How many people would go to the police, let alone go to the courts? When they have an issue, they see the police as an agent of bribery and corruption. They see our courts as agents of corruption and bribery. Go out there and have your own research. How many Ghanaians believe in the Ghanaian court system? How many Ghanaians believe in the police? If you have any issue and the police rears his ugly head in courts, my brother, the Ghanaian would be smiling. All he would tell you is that all they want is money. Is that true or false? On our streets, we see the wanton effrontery by the police, taking bribe left, right, and center. Yet the police is an honorable outfit. My family is a family of police. My brother, it's so shocking. It's so sad. My brother, if you have no money, you can't go to court. Justice is so expensive in our country. I go to America and I see so many billboards all over the place. Judges and lawyers are ready to take people to court for justice for free. Whatever money they make at the court, they will take their share. Not in Ghana. No money, no justice. Where the mantra has become so, no money, no justice, then justice is thrown to the dogs. We all saw how Kennedy Agyapong went to the courts here in Ghana and how the courts favored Kennedy Agyapong. They didn't see any defamation, even though it was so clear. So many legal brains had said that the judge erred in that case. We all heard how the judge said Anas Anas was involved in investigative terrorism and not journalism. We saw that. We heard that. Kennedy Agyapong described Anas as a murderer, a blackmailer, a thief, and all that. The judge upheld all these with no evidence of one single murder. My brother, if a Ghanaian court can be this careless, as has been mentioned by so many legal brains. I'm not a lawyer. Now he's taken to America, and a whooping 18 million American dollars. Multiply that by 15 Ghana cedis, and it will tell you how much Kennedy Agyapong is going to hemorrhage. Does he have that much? Is he going to sell property to be able to get that? 18 million American dollars. Maybe this is chicken change for him. But if it is chicken change, his lawyers are asking and demanding that the amount be reduced. They are asking for a mistrial. I just spoke with my lawyers as well to educate me, because I am not one of their educated colleagues or learned colleagues. You know what my lawyer said? He said it is clear. 18 million American dollars awarded to Anas. But the lawyers of Kennedy Agyapong are now trying to ask for a reduction and asking the judge to interfere in the ruling. But as it stands right now, it's 18 million American dollars. Hey! And interestingly, in court, Anas's lawyers also played videos of Kennedy Agyapong bragging that he has so much money and that anywhere he goes in the world, he will pay if he is wrong, like Bob Marley said. My brother, my sister, in that case, Bloomberg was even mentioned. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, I am glad where justice has taken us to. But to our Ghanaian courts, with all love and respect, this is all we have here. Let's raise the level of integrity. It's sad to see judges and lawyers taking goats and sheep and bribe, as we saw in Anas's video, authenticated by the president at the time. My brother, my sister, to deliver injustice in our courts. It's a shame. 18 million American dollars. And Anas doesn't have to work again till he dies. Congratulations to Anas, Adwoa Anas, for fighting injustice and defamation. Next time we speak, I am sure will be more decorous. And to Kennedy Agyapong, my very good friend Kennedy Agyapong. Well, you say you have all the money. This is free chobo. We all saw how he was sweating in court. Pictures of all that came out. But the twist is this. Anas appeared in court without his legendary beaded mask. But he still disguised himself. In another discussion, we will look at that. In the interim, it's been the voice of the patriot.